One of the things I'm most proud of is our mental health department, where we provide low-cost counseling to special needs individuals and their families. During times like this is something that everyone can use.
Hey everyone, welcome to Mental Health, Wellness, and Check-In with me, Chrisa, and
me,
Matt Asner.
I crashed the party today.
My producer and the president of the Ed Asner Family Center, and our husband to Navah Asner. So, who is probably here at the moment, somewhere under the rainbow.
Somewhere under the rainbow. Oh yeah, right back there. She wishes she was there.
I wish I was there, honestly, because we are. What's the phrase of the day? We're sick of it all.
Yes.
Not sick, but sick of it.
Yes.
It being COVID, the pandemic, this COVID life.
Hey, it's the new year.
Oh yeah.
This wasn't supposed to happen in the new year.
This is
not supposed to happen in 2021.
Actually, this is our first show since the new year.
2021.
Yeah. So we have a lot to make up. We're just now kicking into gear, although we've been working our butts off this whole time, plotting and planning and creating some amazing things for everyone here at the center, to continue our online programs, to create some new stuff too. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the future.
A lot of exciting things
we have
happening.
The dating spectrum, the dating show that's going to be, we're still in the process of creating that and manifesting that. And we also are going to have an LGBTQIA plus group that we're going to get started online. And hopefully someday, God willing, we can have the group live and in person. So an amazing, unique start to 2021. I don't know why I said amazing, because I had to really stop myself there. I don't think it's been an amazing start.
Not amazing yet.
I think the unique thing about the start to this year is that there is providing us a little bit of hope. Some people feel that the vaccine is providing a little bit of a rainbow or the light at the end of the tunnel, perhaps a little beacon of hope.
I think it's interesting because I think a lot of people think that number turn, that click to 1 to 2021 from 2020 was going to solve everything. And I know that's not logical, and
right.
People don't really think that. But I think deep inside they have this thing where they feel that. And they feel like, let's get this year out so we can start this wonderful new year.
Definitely.
You know, and unfortunately, a couple things have happened this year already. We're just kind of slapped in the face with all of this.
For sure. Well put, because I know myself personally, I was feeling really excited about the new year and that the idea of the vaccine, as I'm still educating myself on the vaccine. I'm still researching. I need to do my own research to know how I feel about it. But then that seemed to provide a little bit of hope. And then all of a sudden we went into the craziness that took place 2 weeks ago at the Capitol. And that really
I think we're still recovering from that.
It really pulled some people down in terms of their mental well-being. A lot of people,
I was one of
trauma, PTSD.
Yeah, I just thought, I thought, how could this be happening?
Right.
How could this be happening to this great country of ours? I just really was shocked by it.
Right. Shock. It was almost traumatic, but it was traumatic. And some people even talked about how that unrest, that feeling of feeling not safe was, and by all means, it wasn't the same, but it was likened to that feeling from 9/11.
Yeah.
And the trauma that we were experiencing watching it unfold. So although that was,
well, yeah, I mean, it had that element to it for sure. Because, you would just sit in front of the TV glued watching this unbelievable thing before your eyes. And it's not something that anyone's going to forget.
Right.
And that's why You know, that's why I think people feel so strongly that there have to be answers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there have to be some sort of
resolution
to something so horrible.
Because we need to come out the other end. We need to have some resolution, some answers in order to help curb our feelings of trauma, our anxiety. Because when we're in anxiety, we're constantly looking for a way out. So we're always looking for answers, something to bring back peace and calm to our body, to our thoughts. So it doesn't feel like that's really happened yet.
Well, and I think there's a timing issue. Because you've got this situation where you've gone into the holiday, and you know, it's the end of the year. You can't really see your family. You can't rest the way you want to rest during this kind of time of joy, of what usually is joy, and so. You know, you get past the holiday, and you start kind of working towards, well, it's the new year. Let's start the year the way we want to start it, and then the Capitol thing happens. Yeah, and it's just shocking and horrible and awful. And I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Yeah, it's the worst thing that could happen. Yeah, it wasn't appropriate. Have you done any shows yet? Live shows, the Matt and Navah show on Fridays yet? Not yet. No. So you know, we're just getting back and getting our toes in the water. I wish we were actually here to get started, and I'm really noticing how much I missed the show. Like, I think we took a little bit of a hiatus, like mid-December, and I'm so happy to be back to be able to talk about these topics that are affecting all of us. And you know, one of the things that I thought about today was really tuning in to the idea of hope and optimism. I know we keep talking about it, but I saw a show. It was actually a documentary special that took place in England. And this one woman worked at a care facility for seniors. And she just noticed how depressed the seniors were. So she started to recruit other people to give the seniors phone calls on a daily basis, because people are isolated and in their rooms. So they started this whole, the community really jumped in, and they started this whole phone tree where they call seniors and people that are getting to know each other, and just kindness. And just that little phone call each day is really inspiring people to feel a little bit more happier, to feel connected. And so it's giving them a boost. And so I decided I'm going to start doing this Talk Tuesday. I'm going to call the show Talk Tuesday. And so, Matt, if we could put up the orange little post there. And basically it got me to, when I saw this, it really got me to think more about how we are all doing. And it says today you could be standing next to someone who's trying their best not to fall apart. So whatever you do today, do it with kindness in your heart. That should be a mantra we would live with every day.
Right? Yeah. For sure. It really just, so many people, you don't know what their story is. You don't know what they're going through. Matt, you're absolutely right. This could be something that we go through all the time. And
because it's true.
Right.
Anyone could feel that way at any time. And we should always think about the other person.
Yeah. And if we're, we might look put together, or we might be hiding under our mask. You don't know what we're thinking. Sunglasses and a mask. Can't really see a person's facial expressions if they're talking to you. We really just don't know. So part of what I'm requesting of our viewers, and hopefully, pay it forward, think about ringing somebody up that you haven't talked to in a while, not just a family member, but maybe a neighbor or somebody that you haven't spoken to in a while that you really feel like you might want to reach out and just say hello and give them a little phone call. I know everyone's all into the text messaging and the email, or, the Zoom is good too, but try, picking up the phone. Because I know people are reluctant to do that these days.
It's something that is kind of become lost on us.
It really has.
Picking up the phone.
I always pick up the phone. I really do.
I like picking up the phone rather than texting. I always think you can. Lots can happen with texts. They can get misconstrued. It's
lost in translation.
It's the adventure of text messages.
Yeah, for sure.
You came up with a list here that's really good.
I did. I came up with a list about how to creating hope, how to create hope in people. So not only making that phone call and reaching out to others. Matt, do you want to read a few of those?
Yes, I would like to read a few of these. So let's see. Envision the future you want for yourself and your community. Dream big, but have a realistic plan of action to get there.
Yeah. So when you're bummed out or feeling low, really think about small steps on how to get to a goal. Even the smallest goal can really give you a sense of purpose and value. And it can start to inspire hope that, wow, if I, was able to accomplish that goal, what else could I accomplish? And not only think about what you personally want to do, but what could you do for your community? I have a lot of ideas, like also.
You want me to continue?
Oh, yeah. I was just going to interject one that I really think this idea would be fantastic if you could afford it, or if not, is create care packages for other people, and maybe, collect a few things from, well, I don't know, there's not very many stores we can go to, but, maybe there's some sort of food items that you might have in your house, or canned items that you might want to make a gift basket for somebody of foods that are safe and aren't going to spoil, and maybe make a little care package for somebody. That's always inspiring. And that gives you purpose because you've given to someone else. So you feel good about yourself, and you're making, a little bit of a rainbow day for somebody else.
And this is a good one. Pursue and or develop skills and talents that help you pursue your goals. Mm-hmm. Should you get more involved in your community? Should you stand up more for your point of view? But, explore who you are.
Explore basically. Who you are, for sure. I mean, this is a great time to do that because we're in a pandemic. We have time to do that. We're in a bit of a pause. Sort of feels like treading water. And so you can also have time to really reflect on who you are and take time to explore those things. And when you start to give to other people, you'd be amazed at some of the inspiration that you start to feel within yourself when you give to others. It's such a wonderful feeling. And that might inspire you to really take a look at who you are and what your community is.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, this is a time when we have so much kind of news that we don't necessarily agree with, mm-hmm. Or that we just find bad, mm-hmm. So, this morning we decided that we were going to, halt all in-person classes at the center. And we do this because it's important to do it, because we want people to feel safe, and we want them to know that, every time you walk into the center, we have your back, and we want you to feel safe and happy. And we just feel that right now in Los Angeles, it's really, really not a good time in Los Angeles right now.
And we also want to protect our staff, and each other. And, Matt and I are separated, hence the separation. There it is. There it is. We're separated. We're not together. And
he's over there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, lost.
But no, I think we just have to be responsible and set examples. And, we had the classroom set up mm-hmm. In a way where everyone was socially distanced. They were separated by plexiglass.
Yeah.
But I think that the X factor is always there. And we just thought that there's so many question marks right now about, this new variant and what's going on. And
we're the hotspot. I think Los Angeles.
We're in the hotspot of the world. I think it's Los Angeles.
Unbelievable.
Los Angeles and Brazil, mm-hmm. I think, are the two mm-hmm. places. But we're sure that it's going to, the ship is going to right, and we'll be able to open up classes again and mm-hmm. do it safely. And
it's just a pause.
Yeah, it's a pause.
It's a pause.
We paused.
Yeah.
But the good news about it is, and there's always a silver lining in everything. You got to look for it. And the good news is we're going to really kind of start concentrating a lot more on some of the virtual programming we're doing. This is one of those things.
Yeah.
But a lot of classes and how-tos, and you're going to be seeing more of those coming up. And they're free, 100% free.
That's
our in-person
awesome.
classes are not free,
Yes.
but our online classes are free.
Yes.
And all you have to do is sign on and sign in. So we're with you in this pandemic, and we want you to feel like you have a friend and you have a place to go to. And that's why we offer these classes for free during the pandemic.
We want you to stay connected. And that's very important for mental wellness is, I mean, I'm going to just mention my mom. I mean, she is like an extreme extrovert. And this has been so hard for her. And she would be out doing things all day, staying very active. And it's just so hard for her now. So we're showing her how to really use the Zoom, or, encouraging her to pick up the phone or take a safe walk around the block if she can. And so, she would be on the phone all day talking to people if she could. That's how much energy she has. So it is important to really reach out to other people, not just your friends, but your family, not just friends and family, but other people that maybe you don't know that well, or if you're a part of your temple or your church community, maybe they have a call list that you can, start a project, get involved with calling people just to check in and say, how are you doing? Just wanted to say hello. And it's interesting. That's just a conversation starter. You never know what's going to come next.
No one's expecting that.
Right.
I'm serious. No one's expecting that.
Right.
People don't really do that.
No. And I know we all have caller ID and we don't pick up the phone, but, maybe you just call someone, leave a message if that's all you can do.
Because the message is always nice.
Yeah. It's so heartfelt when I get a text from someone out of the blue. I go, whoa, this person's thinking about me. What else you got on your list?
Going with something you're just talking about right there.
Uh-huh.
So on New Year's, it's amazing because I get so many like New Year's messages.
Isn't it interesting?
And it's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just text. That's like a thing, I think.
And do you get them at midnight, or do you get them at like 9 o'clock?
Like starting at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like
East Coast.
Not both now and my phone's like
I think I don't remember if I texted.
And the great thing is, when you do that on the phone, they're fireworks, and there's like it on the Apple.
On the iPhone? Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it's just fun, and that kind of stuff is always great. So
it's a surprise.
It's always nice to hear from old friends and to say hi to people, and,
mm-hmm.
It's not just relegated to Facebook.
Yes, for sure.
Text them, call them, say hi.
Yes.
So here's some more. Be creative when thinking of ways to overcome obstacles. That's a good one.
Yeah, we have to think outside the box.
Yeah. Because
what we typically do, if it doesn't work for us any longer, we have to find other ways around it. All of the resources that I've been using during my COVID life I'm kind of bored. I'm bored. I need new things. I have to think outside the box now to bring further optimism and inspiration into my life. So thinking outside the box. I got another one too.
All right.
On my list is make dinner for someone in your family or for your neighbor. Or if you're a young person or a teen and you like to explore cooking, make dinner for your family. I think your wife had posted something about her son.
He made dinner. He made a steak dinner, and I don't usually eat meat, but I did that night. He made this wonderful steak dinner that, boy, were we lucky to be able to eat that. That's awesome. That good. It was
better really than a restaurant.
Good. You don't want to know what it was done with, right? Because he probably used butter and all that. But it was wonderful, and it was so good.
And I think didn't Aviva, our director, cook dinner one night and for Passover?
She made banana bread.
No, wait, for Hanukkah?
She did. Yeah, she did.
Banana bread?
Banana bread.
Oh, nice.
She made banana bread the other day.
Yeah, there you go. So it's very nice. I mean,
Hence, I put on like the pandemic 10 or whatever they say. That's definitely happened with me. So I'm trying to kind of
totally
stop it now.
It's fun. Also, I recently got this thing called it's one of those box meals that you get. You can get 3 meals in it, and it comes all measured out. I think I forgot the name of it, but you can make dinners with your family. It's already pre-measured, and it comes in the box, and so it's nice to do that so that you don't. It's takes it off your plate, I guess, so to speak. Is that you don't know what you're going to make for dinner, and then these meals just come.
I think we did that for a little bit.
Yeah, there's like Blue Apron or HelloFresh.
We would always get behind, so we stopped doing it. We would always get behind and like, oh, we don't really want to cook. So,
yeah, you have to pick your meals and stuff, but sometimes that can be fun. But one of my girlfriends says her daughters cook for the family all the time, and they just love it. The parents love it because it's pitching in and it's helping, and it really helps create more of a happy environment.
So here's another one. Read inspiring stories of how both individuals and communities have overcome setbacks. There's a lot of good ones out there. Especially,
I think what was really nice about what are we calling it? The civil disobedience, or the what were we calling Wednesday?
Civil disobedience is being nice.
Too nice, yeah.
I would call it an insurrection.
Insurrection. There you go. I was just thinking that. Okay, wait. Say your thing again. What were you talking about?
Read inspiring stories of how individuals and communities have overcome setbacks.
Okay, so then there were some hero stories in there too.
Oh yeah, there were,
which were really nice to hear. I mean, there were horrific stories that I had to censor. So basically, there's also one in here too that I have is like really censor the news, movies. Be mindful of the movies you're watching. Yeah. If they're not really, if they're scary or they're triggering, don't watch them. But then there were some really nice hero stories.
No, there's the guy, and I can't remember his name.
Some of the DC
guy that
police
was coming up the stairs, and
yes,
and he actually, kind of went the opposite way of where the,
he was averting them.
Yeah, they were in the hall, kind of in lockdown, and he kind of diverted the crowd to an empty place, and and just. That was a wonderful story.
Yeah.
There's a great CBS News piece where they interview the Capitol cops, the Capitol Police.
The DC Police, yeah.
And it's actually, I didn't ever expect to laugh at the story that they showed because it's horrible. I mean, some of the stuff that they went through is horrible. I mean, this guy was like, pushed against the doorway and crushed, basically, being crushed.
Yeah.
Screaming and telling them to stop. And,
I saw that.
And then this other guy was pulled into the crowd and started to get beaten. And there were people telling him they were going to grab his gun and shoot. Grab his gun and shoot him with it.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. And but the guy was so genuine and so interesting.
His thought process.
And just the way he was on camera, he was amazing. And I think the last thing they said was, I guess he said that he started saying, "Please don't hurt me. I have children."
Yes.
And he started mentioning his kids and his wife, and he had some people that got him through and out.
It inspired people
out of there, and so what was for me the best part of the story was the last line, where they said, "What do you want to say to these people that helped you and that saved you?" And he said, "Well, thank you, but F you for being there." And it's like that's perfect.
I heard that
that's
interview
exactly
too.
Right.
Yeah.
He actually reminded me of a friend of ours. So he reminded me of Jeff.
Oh. You had the same haircut.
Yeah. But to me that really summed it up,
Yeah.
And
I saw that interview, and he was appealing to people's humanity. It was amazing, his thought process in crisis. It was like split-second decision making. He heard people saying, take his gun and shoot him with it. And so he was in fear, but he was also clear enough to be able to think beyond, and how do I appeal to people's humanity?
And it's unbelievable that anyone has to deal with that here domestically.
And just as a side note, you mentioned a friend of ours. He owns a club that was very popular in Los Angeles. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, he had to close the club. It provided a lot of local bands a great platform to be seen and heard. And it had been, I mean, over 15 years, almost 20 years, that this club. So he decided to close his doors, and it's just, you know, it's really tough. And it's inspired me to want to reach out to our friend and sort of just, I haven't talked to him in a while, and just say, hey, how are you doing? Because, you know, this is part of what I'm talking about is like, you know, I read something online about the club being closed, and it's just got to be so hard after 20. Well, this was his father's. His father had started the club. So 30, 40 years.
Family business
of being a staple in Los Angeles. So,
so here, be grateful for and celebrate the small pleasures and achievements of life. That's something, another one that we should do every day.
And yes, absolutely. Really being in gratitude for what you've been given and what you can create and what you've worked hard for and the people in your life. Absolutely. Gratitude is always, you know, more and more people are talking about gratitude, and it's becoming more of a forefront of shifting darkness, I guess, or dark thoughts. It's really shifting.
Well, and that goes to the next one.
Oh, okay.
Which is avoid negative things,
There
stories, news, people, movies that lead to feelings of despair. And that's something that's been kind of unavoidable in a way.
But you have to
those
censor.
two go together.
For sure.
Those two go together.
I have to tell you, though, in my therapy practice, I've been talking about mindfulness, optimism, hope, and gratitude for so long. And people go, oh, that's just a Band-Aid. Sometimes people say that. Oh my God, don't get me wrong. So many people say, tell me more about it. I want to feel it. I want to be in it. I want to know what this is, because it's a great technique. And it is a way of really seeing the value of what you're experiencing in life, what the beautiful parts of life. I'm happy to be doing this show right now. I'm in such gratitude. My heart is happy that you know, we have this awesome producer, and that I usually get to do with Navah, and then we have our engineer Steve. So I'm grateful for everybody that's here today, and just a little blip of that feels really good.
And we have some comments here.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We do indeed. Oh, well, that one.
Oh.
Here we go. I'm trying to eat healthy while being in a pandemic.
There you go.
That is very difficult, but very important.
But it's also New Year's, so a lot of people are doing dry January.
Yep.
They're doing detoxing. They're doing all sorts of healthy eating, plant-based diets. So a lot of people are really concerned about that.
Navah says it's hard to hear the guy. So is
that you?
I guess that's me. I'm the guy.
You're not her husband, producer Matt.
It's the guy. That guy? It's hard to hear him. So yeah. Another thing I do, my mental health, is dancing.
Yes.
That's a great one.
Dancing. Today we have dancing online today, which is a very popular class.
That's right.
And the teacher is
Robin.
Do you know the teacher?
Robin.
Dancing
with Robin.
All right. I hear it's very, very popular. What other comments?
Here we go. So let's see.
We have some down there too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait.
Matt has never cooked a meal.
What do I do for mental health? We already did that the whole time.
I don't know if you want to read your wife's comments. She's trolling you.
Matt has never cooked a meal in his life. That's not true.
Your wife is trolling you.
It always seems that way.
We miss you,
Remember what we said here. Avoid negative things.
Oh, and on that note, I think we're out of time.
We're out of time. I'm going to say when anything you can do to help someone is always a plus. That's true.
Who said
that? Carolyn.
Oh, that's Mom.
Oh, Mom said that. That's so true.
My mom's trolling me and your wife is trolling you. So there you go. That
is so true. Robin Olive.
Okay, perfect. So on that note, just everyone stay hopeful. Hope is always the light at the end of the tunnel. And next week we will be back with my co-host Navah. She'll and you'll go back to producing. But thank you so much for being here.
And hope. Let's remember this. Hope is everything.
It is.
Hope is the fuel that drives us, and that should drive us. And that's Steve's phone. And on that, we're going to say goodbye. and we're gonna go out on a video of the center. So we'll see you next
Thanks,
week.
everybody.
Step out for just 1 second.
Okay.
Wait, careful because you're hooked up.
Can I go in now?
Yeah, go in. All right. So here we go. You guys ready?
You're listening to Netflix Movie Reviews with Hannah on ICLU Radio. The movie also had a very New Orleans feel to it, with all the gumbo soup and with words such as bye. Once again, this is Netflix Movie Reviews with Hannah on ICLU Radio, your campus station.
Hannah, well, she's super funny and gregarious and excited. She has a really a lot of passion.
Oh, this is my mom. My mom is creative and easygoing, and she's caring also.
Aww.
Yeah.
Okay, my baby. When Hannah was 2, she was diagnosed with autism, and they told us that she might not talk. And boy, did she break those barriers. So now to watch her do her ICLU radio classes in little studio or little home booth there is so fun.
In the summer, I did the Ed Asner camp, and in that Ed Asner camp, we did art projects and music, and it was fun, and it was good, and it felt good to get out of the house, you know, after being cooped up inside for so many months. Well, I usually take the art classes. Well, we do lots of art projects, and I think it's super fun to have that type of outlet because it gives me a chance to connect with the outside world a little bit, you know?
Well, it's just great to have another place that is supportive, and Navah and Matt are fantastic, really supportive.
One of the things that really inspired us to create the center was we're a blended family. Our 3 autistic sons inspired us to find a place where we could be a family, we could be included, and other families like our own would be welcome and not ever feel like they didn't belong or were asked to leave. One of the main pillars of our center and foundations of our center, I wanted to bring mental health support to our families. If you don't support the foundation of the family first, being the parents, you can't be as good of an advocate for your children.
Any social events that we have are done in this big room, a place where you can just kind of walk around and be yourself and really have fun. Then you have Aviva's Art Room, and Aviva's Art Room it's a place where each kid can be themselves and they can do their own thing artistically and gain that self-confidence that is so needed in life. And our therapy rooms are cozy, they're filled with life. And then you have our media room, which is where we do all of our online classes from.
What we're doing is really just creating a secondary, expanded family. So everyone's part of our family.
We want to make sure that all of our families get the help that they need, and both in mental health and in the arts. And every dollar that comes in goes towards that goal.
I would tell them thank you for making the Ed Asner Family Center a fun place to be.